What's up, everybody? It's your boy back. We got another reaction for you. You know what it is. And I will be reacting to is Dead Space official gameplay trailer. This came out recommended, like, it's funny, it came out recommended like an hour ago, maybe like 2 hours ago, but it's been up for, well, it said 8 hours when I saw it. So, now it's been like, I guess 10 hours. I saw this this the Dead Space remake. So, which I played the original game. I don't think I beat it. I'm pretty sure I did because I never owned it. It was my brother's game. But and also, like, I could not get through it. I had such anxiety playing that game, and like horror games just always give me like it just I have such a hard time playing. Like fucking Dying Light. It took me forever. And I couldn't go because in that game there's a night and day sequence that happens when uh like stronger, faster zombies come out at night, and I could not play at night. Like I was so scared. And it's this when it when night comes at a certain time, and it's this loud shriek. It uses like a bunch of different zombies because I think they call volatiles. I remember they come out, and so you know that it's nighttime now officially. And I had like I was so scared, like it was real life to go out of the safe havens or the safe compounds at night until the game, because I knew it was coming. Playing that game, I said, I know it's coming, where I'm gonna have to go out at night. Even though at the beginning of that game, you end up getting caught out at night. You go get a supply drop, and you have to once you go get it, you can see it's getting like it's weird. It's like the closer you get to the supply drop, the darker it gets because you're supposed to get caught out there. But and that happens, and then you got to run back to a safe haven. But when you're doing a mission, it's kind of different because like you have to go out at night. You have to, even though I mean you could go out during like when it's getting dark and then get there in time in order. So when you just got to get back to the safe haven instead of going out and trying to get there while it's dark outside. But I refused to go out at night until I finally I was like, I gotta go out at night. I gotta because I had to in order to progress in the game. And oh man, it took I think it was the bridge level where you had to get those light bulbs off like a bridge so they can put them on in the safe haven compound in the UV lights. And because these zombies can't deal with, they don't go out in the sun because they burn up like fucking vampires. And for the longest time, I could not do it. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. And I finally was like, I gotta do it. I was like, stop being a fucking bitch and just do it. Finally did it. And then, of course, as my character got, because I played that game a lot, and my character got more and more powerful, it didn't really bother me to go out at night. Like I go out at night. Like I used to go in the why am I forgetting what they call it? The expansion of that game called The Following. Like I go out and you can raid like those volatile hives. I go out there. I used to go by myself and just kill them because I was that strong. And my character was built up. My weapons. It was because now the power was in my hands, and I could destroy them. I could go and wipe out a whole hive by myself. Like I play with other people usually, but I said I wonder if I can do it by myself. So one day I was just playing. I said I can do it, and I know we just going to hives that were unlocked and just what I had discovered, and I just wiping out whole volatiles by myself with my weapons, and then they weren't scary anymore. I mean, it was still I mean, they were still scared because they would just jump out on you, jump on you. Especially when you're driving in the following, because you be driving all of a sudden. You driving so fast, you're focusing on where you're going. One would just jump like on the hood of your car and just put their face like right in the screen. I was going, oh shit. Oh, I might stream that. I want to play that again. I keep saying I'm gonna start streaming, but I ain't done it yet. But anyway, this is the dying of the space. So, but I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I won't be able to play it because I think it's exclusively on the PlayStation 5. So I think it's being made in mind just for PlayStation 5, but I will get one eventually. So, anywho, here we go. I've seen some still shots and I was like, it definitely looks better than the original.
Isaac Clarke.
What have you got, Isaac?
Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the trams.
Oh shit, he's talking.
Fix the centrifuge.
Because he didn't speak in the first game. I kind of assumed they weren't going to have him speak. Because I know he spoke in 2, which I played that too, but I didn't beat that either. I have 3. I ain't beat that either.
We need help.
It definitely, you can definitely see the detail in this. More so than the original game. Oh, to me, it was so nerve-wracking to have to cut these things apart, to dismember them, rather than just like shooting their heads off. Man, this looks pretty. It's definitely pretty, for sure. I hope in the future we can do that. We just get telekinesis like that from machinery. But now they got to remake 2. Maybe remake 3 and make it. 3 wasn't bad. I was about to say make it better, but or good. Oh shit. 3 wasn't bad, in my opinion. When I played it, I'm like, it's not bad. It's a decent shooter. But I know that's not what people want. Ooh.
It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
I can't believe this shit either. Humanity ends here. Didn't in some, I remember reading something a while ago where I don't know, it was a comic book or what, but they had like an outbreak. Why am I forgetting the name of the damn thing? I keep wanting to say xenomorph in my head, but that's not what they're called. What the fuck are these things? I know what they're called, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I hate when this happens. When I'm recording, my mind just goes blank, and then of course later on when I'm not recording, I instantly remember. I keep wanting to fucking say xenomorphs. I now in my mind say animorphs, or that's a fucking book. Humans turned into animals. Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I kind of want to look it up, but I don't want to go through all that. But anyway, I wonder if they're gonna change anything because he's talking now. Like in the first game, I remember when I played it, it didn't really, it wasn't that shocking for a character, your main character, not to talk. Because, like, I mean, I played games like Zelda, Ocarina of Time, where Link never speaks. Did Link talk in the old game? 'Cause I remember playing the original Zelda. Goddamn, excuse me. The original Zelda. I don't remember. I mean, everyone had like it was dialogue boxes, but I don't remember if he spoke in that. Man, I haven't played that since shit. I was a wee little pissant, but I know Ocarina of Time like he didn't speak. So I was like, did he not speak then? And it was kind of just carried on that like he just doesn't speak. I was like, he's not mute. Like the character can talk. Cause they never mentioned like, Link is a mute. I don't remember reading anything ever said that. Like I said, unless they retcon something. Cause I haven't played any of them. Haven't played anything since. I had on Timothy. What the? Am I in Alzheimer's or something? Like, and I want to say Mirror's Edge. The Majora's Mask. Shit. Like my mind immediately went. Like I was about to say it, 'cause I knew what. And then my mind was like, nope, I'm gonna put Mirror's Edge in there. Right in that spot. Majora's Mask. That was the last Zelda game that I played. But he's speaking in that. I mean, it makes sense because like he was speaking in 2 and 3. So, which I have 3. Which, like I said when I was reacting to it, 3 is not bad to me. Yes, if you want the same scary atmosphere, I mean, basically the exact same thing that happened with 3 happened with the Resident Evil series, wherein they changed it. Which is funny though, because when Resident Evil 4 did it, it kind of changed the game and everything started like, because that was like people said it's like one of the greatest Resident Evil games of all time, and all the other games started emulating that and going, overboard in some people's opinions. I am a defender of RE6. Yes, it's very convoluted. It goes way too fucking long. Because I like something, I won't criticize. But I like the kicking the shit out of zombies and those plagas or whatever. I like the dive roll and rolling around and shooting on your butt and scooting back. I love that shit. It makes me feel like I'm Martin Riggs. I'm just shooting. I mean, you can't dive through the air and shoot, but I love that. I'm like, you've already made these characters, anime characters, basically. Like the shit Leon and Chris did. Like you pretty much made them anime protagonists. So they might as well be able to do some crazy shit. They shouldn't be all stiff like the early games. Oh, that's survival horror. Like you can have survival horror, but that you shouldn't have to limit the character's movement to make it scary. Like, oh, I can't move like I want because so that they add the scariness. Like then you should be able to make it scary without having to like, well, we need to make the movements more rigid, so it's harder for you to get the character away. And then you have these like dynamic camera angles, which I didn't mind. I mean, I played that when I was younger. It did frustrate me, even when I was younger, when we didn't have the the over the shoulder thing, but we did have games like later on, a little bit later on, like where you could control like the camera behind them and stuff like that. But thought I heard something, but I was like, the hell is that? But but yeah, I mean, this game was the first game. It was always it had that over the shoulder because it came after RE4. I mean, a lot of games started emulating that. But yeah, I like that. I liked 3 for what it was. Like it was trying to be something different. It wasn't doing the same thing. Like even though we could have did the same thing and still been good and like changed everything and continued the story and stuff like that. But it didn't. But it was. I mean, for what it was, they were trying to do in that game. To me, it accomplished. It accomplished the. He was trying to be a shooter, pretty much, and that's what it was. And it was a decent shooter. Now, like I said, whether you wanted that or not, is something different. Like you're like, hey, I wanted to be like this, so it failed in my opinion. Hey, then you have every right to be like that. But to me, it was decent. It's like I said, it was a decent shooter. I mean, yeah, the first 2 games still better than it, but but it, like for what they were trying to accomplish, it did. They accomplished it. You know, even like I said, they took the kind of horror aspect out of it. But for what they did in that, it was fine. But like I said, it's funny because the opposite is with RE4, where they went action. I mean, it still had a creepy atmosphere. It still had the zombie type enemies and stuff like that. But and you know that succeeded, where Dead Space 3 failed. But maybe that's what because it was they still, even though it was more action, especially as that game went on, like it got way more action. And I was like, how the fuck Leon is doing this? Especially the Leon we had in RE2. Like everyone's kind of like, this dude is so stupid. Even Claire, who was not even like she was just trained by Chris, who was the super badass, and other than like Jill, but he was the best of the best stars and all that shit, and he trained her, so it made Leon seem even more dense, like because he was like, and I mean he was late for his first day of work. They retconned that now in the new game for what I read. I played the demo. When I read they tried to tell him to like stay away because they were dealing with the whole zombie thing, which makes sense because in the original game they had it quarantined off the Raccoon City. Plus Raccoon City back then kind of looked more like a small town. Now it looks like a fucking it looks like I don't want to say Chicago. It looks like a Cleveland, Ohio. It's like a big skyscrapers, but a little bit more contained. But he just drove past. I was like, how did he drive past all this? If it's supposed to be quarantined, then when he passed a big giant quarantine wall, it's like why did he didn't drive past anything until he got to a gas station. He got to the town. And then it was zombie. He found out it was a car in the street, and he went. And I was like, "Oh, it's just." And he's like, "Oh, this person's hurt." Then all of a sudden, zombies just come out. Then the person who he went to check on tried to grab him. He was like, "No!" Even when I was a kid, I left. I was like, "No!" I was like, "What the fuck?" He shot the fucking head. But and of course, he ran into Claire. In a diner that she was having because she got into town just before him, which they still did in the remake. They got into town pretty much the same time, but it was I was like that never made sense. I was like, how did he not see? It was no quarantine, nothing. We know they quarantined it though, but he didn't drive past. You see him driving into town. He didn't drive past anything like that, and then he was just late. And I was like, how did all this shit happen in 2 days? I think in the remake it happens over the course of a week or 2 or something like that. But I was like how quickly did this happen? Now, he was late for his first day. It's late for your first day of work, and then you go offer me the president's bodyguard. shit. Which even when I was young, I said that seems something like more like Chris would have done than Leon. Like that's weird that career path. Like he went from a police, he joined the department. I think what was he like 21 or something or 20, whatever. And then uh and then 6 years later he's going on all these missions because I was like, wait a minute, so he's just the president's bodyguard now. Then you find out like, oh yeah, he did missions. And I mean, you didn't think he had to do some type of training. I was like, damn, 6 years that he's become just this super badass, like, and that just like he just like, I mean, because in RE2, like Ada was like, this is basically like this dude's so stupid because she was a super spy then. And like yeah, he's so, green and wet behind the ears and all this shit. But then she's like, oh, that's kind of cute, like a innocent puppy. But then he's in RE4, and he's just like he's having like little kung fu fights. He's like beating her. He's like, oh, and she's surprised. She's like, oh, you learned a few things since last time we saw each other. Like they ain't seen each other like it's 6 years. And he's like, oh yeah. My dick grew like about another 4 inches. Oh, wait a minute. I went off on something. That looked great. That looked extremely more detailed than the original game. But how will it play? Will that matter? I mean, I'm fine with this being remade. I'm fine with remakes. I don't care. Like, I see they remaking, or I guess they remastering Horizon Zero Dawn. People don't like that. I don't give a fuck. Even though that's a recent game, because they're remaking it for the PlayStation 5. I mean, if there's a big jump in like graphics and stuff like that from one console to another, I can see them remaking stuff for that particular console. Especially if they don't have a whole lot of games just immediately on it. So they're like, well, we have games that exist that we know people like to play. So let's try to remake some of those, even though some of them are not even 10 years old. It's like, fuck it. Because people will buy it. Now just look at fucking Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto. I can speak for myself. I bought it twice. Yeah, because I bought it on PlayStation 3. And I bought it on PlayStation 4. So I can say for myself, like I know that like people, and then some people bought it on. I've seen people talk about, oh yeah, I bought it on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox, PC. But those people, work in the video game industry, so they had to play it. So they're like, oh, I bought it a bunch of different places, and some people I'm sure did. They look at that like people will buy it. People will bitch and complain about it, but people will buy it again because they want to see how different it. Like the Last of Us, the remake they just did. People who even I've seen YouTubers who like when they first heard about them doing it, hated it. They need to focus on making original content and stuff like that. And then they played it. And then like, if you haven't played Last of Us Part 1, this is the version that you need to play. And they're like, if you haven't played it, I mean, he said, if you want to play it, if you beaten the other one, or you just played it, and you want to play this out of some like curiosity to see what they've changed in it, he said, that's fine. But he said, if you have not played, because I think actually a few YouTubers do this, like you haven't played The Last of Us Part 1, you need to play, if you can, you have PlayStation 5, you need to play the remake. That is the version you should play. Like, so I'm just saying, it's just funny. Though, like I said, when Rockstar did that, of course these companies gonna be like, well, people are going to buy it if you put it out there, because people, you're gonna have people who haven't played it, and that's gonna be their first experience, because they're like, well, I want to get the newest thing. Because that's the way people work. I want to get the thing that got the best stats, well, I want to get the thing that has the most games. I want to get the thing that they deem is the best, and they gonna get it. Or you gonna have fans who have already played the original one, who are curious about playing it because they're like, I want to see what they changed. Is it just graphics? Now you will turn some people off with that $70 cost on it on a remake. That's like a game that's not even like was like 9 years old or some shit. Or you gonna have some people like me who like I don't give a fuck what again. I will wait to get a game. Like I think it's 2 games I bought that. Well, I think it's 3 because I pre-ordered The Last of Us Part 2. Which normally I don't pre-order shit, but I just pre-ordered that. I bought God of War, the most recent one. As soon as it became available, I didn't pre-order it. As soon as it came available, no, I did pre-order it. I take that back. I did pre-order that. And what was the third one that I bought? Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. I bought that, but I didn't buy that right away. I bought that, I think like a little bit over a month after that came out, and I saw it was like $40. Somebody was selling it on eBay, so I bought it. I bought it on eBay, $40, but because it was still like $59.99 in on a PlayStation store. So I saw that. I was like, hell yeah, I get that. And well, I got it off. What was that? Yeah, it was eBay because I was looking up. Yeah, I was just looking up where I could get it cheaper, and eBay I saw a deal for $40 because I ain't been on eBay in years before that. But yeah, they gonna do it. People gonna buy. Like me personally, I would like to see more games from older. Like this game, it's fine. Dead Space has been years, been a while since the first game. Fine, I do a remake, you know. Games like I would like to see a Win Back. I love that game. You seen that game? You can just Google it. It's called Win Back. Pretty good shooter from the Nintendo 64 days. Let's see a remake of that, but that's a Nintendo game, I think so. Like I said, on Nintendo 64, I don't know. I don't know if they still own it, the rights to it. But I like to see a remake of that. I like to see I won't say decent because there was that Double Dragon game with Double Dragon Neon, which I actually own. That I technically don't own it, but I think it was available on PlayStation Network. It's one of those games they give you for free every month. But it was like I was thinking more like a remake of Double Dragon 2 from back in the day. They're doing remakes of Resident Evil, a remake of Silent Hill, and Silent Hill 2. What else? From my childhood, they can get a remake of. Why am I going blind? They already did like a remaster of Metal Gear Solid. Because they made it like way more anime. Because I remember playing that and I was like, the fuck? I mean, because Solid Snake's basically supposed to be a super soldier. And in that, he felt like it, but it was just so jarring compared to the original one I played when I was younger. And I played that. I think I was like a teenager. I rented it. And, I might have been older than that when I first rented that. I mean, I was a teen. I think maybe I was 17, 18. I had to look at when that come out. Am I off? Anyway, I remember playing it and just been like, when he fought like Gray Fox in that, I was like, does he have superpowers? Like this dude was like a cyborg, like doing flips and jumping all the way, and Solid Snake just beat his ass and Yeah, I was like one part where he like grabbed at somebody's gun with his leg and like pulled his other gun out, and, like pointed at another guy while he was pointing that gun at him. I was like, this is anime shit. I was like, I loved it though. I ain't gonna lie. But I guess they kind of already did that. Maybe a remake of the original. I've never played that. I don't even know what it was on. The console was on, but the original Metal Gear. Yeah, I can't even think of that off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a lot. They already remade Final Fantasy VII. Maybe remake Final Fantasy VIII. I like that one. Maybe it could maybe redo Ocarina of Time. Maybe. Majora's Mask. They need to do a fucking other Def Jam. Def Jam Fight for New York. Man, that was cool, but Fight for New York blew that one out the water. When they did that fucking icon, the Def Jam icon, I was like, I remember I played a demo of that. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? I'm thinking, cause in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is like another Def Jam Fight for New York. You just wouldn't, newer rappers. And then they did that shit where it was like based on the beat or some shit. I was like, and I didn't like the way it looked, which is funny because the Def Jam Fight for New York, everyone looked like a goddamn cartoon character. But, it's fine. But this, it was like they're trying to be realistic, but then not at the same time. Like it looked weird. It's almost like it felt like to me looking at like everything was like a 2D drawing. And it just sucked. That game fucking sucked. Need to bring back also Fight Night. They need a decent Fight Night. I haven't had a decent one since what was round 3 all the way round 2. I know they had Champion. Champion wasn't bad, but I didn't like it as much as I can't remember if it was round 2 or round 3 because I played one of them a lot, like a ton. But yeah, just remake I'll say anything that's trying to pass, you can get the rights to it. Just remake it. Might as well bring it. You got the nostalgia of the old fans, and then you remake and changing it for a newer generation to appreciate. So, as long as you don't fuck it up, then it can be a win-win. You fuck it up, everyone's gonna hate your guts and send you death threats. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed my reaction. When if you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.